Welcome back to the True Transformation Podcast. My name is Josiah Novak, and today we are going to be talking about a full-blown summer shred program. For those of you who want to lose weight, who want to show up looking lean, ripped, tight and toned, jacked, all the adjectives, today's podcast is going to get you off on the right track. Before we do that, first of all, thanks for being here. If this is your first time listening, we have literally hundreds of episodes that you can go back, download, and binge listen to over the course of however many weeks it'll take you. But we have a long list of prior episodes. So make sure you go check those out. But moving forward, as you can see, if you go back and check out our previous or at least recent episodes, we drop a new episode every Thursday guaranteed. At some point, you may see a bonus episode drop here and there, but usually it'll be a episode with a special guest on Thursdays and or an episode like this where I go in depth on a big topic like how do we get ripped, shredded for summer. And today's episode is actually sponsored by my good friends over at Butcher Box. And Butcher Box has been a staple in our household for quite some time. Personally, I love to eat steak. I love to eat chicken. And I also love salmon and things like shrimp. And my kids, they love things like chicken nuggets. And so at least once a week, yes, I'm a fitness guy, but I'm not afraid to admit you will find us hitting up the Chick-fil-A drive-thru usually once a week after a long soccer practice because my kids love Chick-fil-A. Now, we don't eat Chick-fil-A every day. We have a healthy balance. Usually my wife cooks really healthy home-cooked meals, but my kids at times, as I'm sure you can relate, they ask for Chick-fil-A again. And I have to say no. Doesn't mean I want to say no to chicken nuggets. So Butcher Box has come to the rescue recently. They actually have chicken nuggets that my kids love, and my kids are picky eaters. So I reached out to Butcher Box. I actually work pretty closely with the CEO, Mike, over there. He's a client of mine, and he's been getting in tremendous shape. And I said, listen, Mike, my clients need some kind of deal. I've been using you guys for a while. What can you do to hook us up? And he said, I'd love to become an official sponsor of your podcast and also hook up your people with an unbelievable deal on our products. So I said, cool. Here's what we did. So if you go to butcherbox.com/true and you use the code TRUE true at checkout, you'll get free chicken nuggets for a full year inside of your weekly Butcher Box that gets delivered directly to your door. Plus, you'll get 10% off your first Butcher Box. Unbelievable, especially if you already order meat or if you go to the butcher store or wherever butcher shop and you buy meat every week. This will save you the trip, and you're also getting the highest quality meat out there, which I just speak for myself. I know, at least from what I've seen, the quality of meat and nutrition in general continues to come down. So anywhere we can get high quality stuff rather conveniently, you want to do it. So Butcher Box is the place where I shop, where I get my weekly meats. And I'd love for you to join the Butcher Box Club. So go to butcherbox.com/true. Use the code TRUE, TRUE, at checkout. You'll get free nuggets for a year. Your kids will be in heaven. You'll be in heaven because, let's face it, who doesn't love chicken nuggets? But then you also get all your other meat. You'll get all your protein, and you'll be ready to rock to get ripped for summer. So go check them out, butcherbox.com/true. Let them know Josiah sent you. Okay, so we're jumping into a summer shred plan, a blueprint of sorts. And this was inspired today by my friend, my COO here at True Transformation. His name's Jay Michael. If you don't already know, you see him on my social media. You see him in our groups. Our clients know him very well. He's 40 years old. Yes, I'm putting his age completely out there. And no, I'm not going to apologize for it. But he showed up to our recent live event this past weekend in absolute stellar shape. I'm talking veins through his abs, like 5 to 6% body fat, contest ready, photo shoot ready. The guy was lean, dry, ripped, cut, you name it. He showed up and he showed out. The guy killed it. So, of course, had a lot of questions about how he did it. What were his secrets? What was the methods we used? How can someone at 40 years old with a family, multiple businesses that they're involved in, they work 40 to 60 hours a week minimum, how do they get in shape? What are the tricks, the tips? So let me outline a blueprint for you to follow. So you're going to want to take notes because this is what my top high level clients follow, especially my busy high achievers out there who, they're not going to the gym 4 times a day. They actually have careers, they have businesses, they make a lot of money, they have great families, they have a big social life, and a lot of responsibilities. How do they do it? How do they get in shape? So let's just jump right into it. Well, what I'll tell you first and foremost, and this is what you'll hear a lot in the industry, is you need consistency and discipline. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you don't need those things, but I think that there's a little bit of short-sightedness happening when all we say is be consistent and be disciplined. What I mean by that is if we're consistently doing the wrong things or we're consistently only doing a part of the puzzle, you're going to get really frustrated because you can consistently go to the gym for years and not see results. I mean, this was Jay Michael. This is a guy who came to me. He started out as a client. He said, listen, I've studied books. I've bought hundreds of programs. I've been working out consistently now for, over a decade, and I just cannot seem to get ripped. And actually, one of the first things he told me was, hey, I think I'm carb sensitive. My body doesn't handle carbs well, and that's why I can't get ripped. And so anyway, we broke down all those beliefs, but my point of that is that he was going to the gym consistently. He was doing cardio consistently, but he wasn't doing the right workouts. He wasn't doing the right nutrition consistently. So all his efforts were, in a sense, going to waste. Not completely, but they weren't giving him his best ROI. So you got to be consistent doing the right things, which of course I'm going to break down today. Number 2 is this discipline factor. You got to be disciplined, right? You got to say yes to the hard and no to the easy. You got to make the hard right choice and say no to the wrong easy choice. You don't want your feelings to dictate your actions. You want your actions to dictate how you feel. This is all stuff that I preach inside our program. However, there is a big D word that we got to cover first, and that D word is desire. You must actually desire the outcome. So when you think about getting ripped, you think about walking around with your shirt off, feeling confident in your own skin. Why is this something that you want? Why is this something that you value? What is this going to do for you? How are you going to feel when you have that? And I'll tell you right now, just from what I've seen working with clients and then obviously working on myself, what I can tell you about being in shape is that I feel like I am 100% authentically me. I don't have any subconscious thought around how I'm not worthy, how I'm not showing up. I know I'm doing the work. I know I'm showing up. I know I'm being the best version of myself. That is a powerful thing. And I desire that a lot more than I desire the short-term enjoyment of bad food, or not even bad food, but too much food, because really you can enjoy all the foods and still get ripped. But I desire that feeling of authenticity, of I am fully locked in and engaged. I am not settling for less than my best. I'm winning on all fronts. I like being healthy. I actually love being healthy so that I can do things like go skiing with my kids and not worry about getting hurt. So I can go run races with my friends and enjoy crossing a finish line and accomplishing a goal. I enjoy feeling attractive to my spouse. I want my spouse to look at me and go, damn, like you look sexy. You look good. Like you look hot. I don't want my spouse to say, oh, I love your body how it is. I love your body even if it's fat and overweight. Like, cool if you do, but I don't feel like my best. I want to live a long time. I want to live to 120, and I want my quality of life to be really high. So I have all this desire tied to the way I'm going to raise my standards the way I'm going to execute the plan. It's not just about discipline. Yes, you will need discipline. There will be days you don't want to go work out and you're going to have to go work out. There will be days where you don't want to eat the healthy meal, so you'll eat the healthy meal. Yes, you will need discipline. You will need consistency. But I wanted to say this up front because I want you to realize there's deeper levels to the game. It can't just be a blanket statement of you need to be consistent, you need to be disciplined. No, you need to be consistent doing the right things, and you need to be disciplined because of your desire. Now, what's next? By the way, I'm doing this off the cuff today. I put down 0 notes, and I'm only saying that because I just came out of an incredible weekend at TT Live here in Northern Virginia. If you're listening to this at some point in the future, it's our annual big live event with all of our clients. It was incredible. I'm riding the high. I have no need for notes because my brain is just on fire right now. So if I go all over the place, well, just enjoy it. Buckle up, get comfy. We're going to go for a ride. Cool? Okay, so what's next? Well, I'm going to dive into the nitty-gritty with the nutrition, the workouts, and all that stuff here in a bit. But I want to just make you think outside the box a little bit. I think that one major area that everybody needs to really think about is your community, the people you surround yourself with. Look, in this world, it's hard to find like-minded people who want to win, who want to see you win, don't want to hold you back, don't want to sabotage your results, don't want to judge you. They just want to see you crush it. It's hard to find that. We live in a world where people want to see you do well, just never better than them. Our community is not anywhere near like that. Our community actually wants to see you win just as much, if not more, than I want to win, because it proves to me that things are possible. When we see someone else win, it's proof that we can win. It's filling up our bucket of self-belief by seeing other people crush it. Success is contagious, and we want a bunch of people spreading all sorts of success germs all over our community. So if you don't have a community, you need to get one. It's not going to be easy to do it on your own. How do you get a community? Well, there's this thing called the internet. It's pretty cool. It's got things like this place called Google. It's got things like this place called Facebook, and a lot of other things like a true transformation app, a true transformation community, where you can get involved with people who are going to hold you accountable and also celebrate your success. You need a community because there's no better feeling than winning and then celebrating with people who are along the journey with you. If you want to go fast, you can go alone, but eventually you're going to want to go far, and that's where you need to go together with like-minded people. So I look at community as a way to collapse time. And what I mean by that is you're going to save yourself a lot of headache by having a community that can help you avoid a lot of big mistakes. So if you're doing things on your own and you're trying to figure it all out, like, more power to you, but you're going to make a ton of mistakes, and there'll be a ton of learning opportunities. And some of them you won't even see because you're just doing it by yourself. You don't have a second set of eyes, a third set of eyes, a fourth set of eyes to say, hey, you don't need to do that. Hey, like, that's too much. You don't need that. Or here's another opinion, another way of looking at it. And you go, I never thought of that. Or, oh, I'm so glad you told me not to do that because I would have wasted hours or months or years doing that. This is the power of community. And not to mention, like I said, success leaves clues. Success is contagious. So when you see other people winning, it naturally translates into you winning more. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. Whatever topic or whatever area of your life you're trying to get better at, you need to surround yourself with people who are crushing it at that level. So it forces you to level up. I do this all the time with business, with marriage, with everything. Hey, I want to be the best at everything I do. Cool. Well, I better get around people who are doing it better than me so I can reach their level and then eventually reach new levels and then get around more successful people. And the process just kind of continues over and over. It's a beautiful thing. And it's the power of community. So I'll take a second now and just tell you, listen, if you don't have a community, get one. inside of this podcast, if you go to the show notes, you'll see links to join our free community, links to join our coaching program that takes the free community and puts it on steroids, basically. And you have a group of people that are unmatched. Our programs are world-class. Our coaches are world-class. I've never had a client follow our systems and not get ripped. But what's out of this world is the people who support you inside of our program. Like, I literally cannot even describe how powerful our community is. So that's number 2. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. So we have consistency, discipline, community, the CDC, if you will. And now we need to sprinkle in the 3M system. The 3M system is your base camp for getting ripped. This is, in other words, the basics, but the basics never go out of style. You need to master these. You need to have these on autopilot before you jump into the advanced stuff. Before you jump into the 5% stuff, you need to master the 95% stuff. And this is what it is. So number 1, you need to master your movement. You need to have a game plan around how much you're going to move every day, because that's how we burn calories. That's how we stay healthy. That's how we keep our digestive system operating at a high level. It's how we manage our blood sugar. It's how we manage our mental clarity. It's our ability to create energy as well. So a lot of you are tired all the time, or you're busy and you're stressed and you're like, man, how do I get more energy? How do I get more stress? And the natural thought is, well, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to sit on the couch. Here's a thought. You need to create that energy. How do we create energy? We go for a walk. I know it sounds crazy simple, but this is the truth. You go for a walk. You get off your ass and you go move. I'm not talking a power hike or a strenuous high heart rate type of exercise. I'm talking about walking around your neighborhood, walking around your office. Walking is a superpower. How do we know if we're walking enough? Well, we have a step goal. You have a step goal that you'll hit on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. Personally, I would start with 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day just to get used to that. And we can add from there as needed. But this eliminates the need for you to get all crazy with crazy cardio. Like, oh, should I do this HIIT training? Should I do this Peloton? Should I do sprints? Should I go for runs? Like, yeah, you can do all that stuff when the time is right. But 90% of the time, just go for a walk. Best time to walk? Well, number 1, the time you can make it happen. But I would say, in order of importance, a morning walk is great. If you go to the gym, maybe finish your workout with a 15-minute walk. If you go to the gym at another time of day, start your morning with a walk. Other times a day to walk would be after a meal. So eat, go for a walk. Eat, go for a walk. 5-10-minute walk, nothing crazy. That's number 2. Now, number three, or excuse me, I don't know where I'm getting these numbers. Number 2 of the 3M system is muscle. So we got to train our bodies. You want to look good naked, you got to work out appropriately. Don't get crazy with this. If you don't have a lot of time, start with a 30-minute workout 3 times a week. Hit upper body, then lower body, then go back to upper body. Then start next week with lower body, then go upper body, then lower body. Could also do something like a push, pull, legs workout split, where push day is chest, shoulders, and triceps. Pull day is back, biceps, rear delts, and traps. And then leg day is leg day, quads, hamstrings, and calves. You can throw in abs on days in between. And that's a really good split. I mean, listen, all the splits work if you follow them. But will you follow it? Will you get excited enough to do it? Will you actually stick to the script and show up at the gym for 30 minutes and knock it out? The answer is you will, because you're going to use what I call the 10-minute rule. And the 10-minute rule is, on the days you don't feel like working out, you're just going to do 10 minutes. And then if you're not feeling it, you can go home. But chances are 99% of the time you are going to feel it. You are going to feel good. You're going to want to keep going, and you'll stick it out. You'll do the whole workout. You'll do the 30-minute workout, and eventually you'll do a 45-minute workout 3 or 4 times a week. But you got to build to that. You got to build the habit. You got to build the structure, and you got to feel good. And listen, workouts are not just about building muscle or getting stronger or keeping us from getting injured. Of course, they are there for those things. But workouts are about your mental clarity. They're about recharging. They're about getting some me time, some thinking time. There's nothing better than hitting a workout, walking out of the gym and going, man, I feel good that I did that. Prove to myself that I can do it, and I did it. Absolutely on fire for the rest of your day. And of course, if you want to sculpt your physique, you're going to have to become the sculptor. You're going to have to go in the gym, train your shoulders, train your back, train your legs, train your arms, all the things that go into building a physique that you can be proud of. Listen, everybody should lift weights. Everybody. There's no person that I have ever come across that shouldn't lift weights. And I'm sure they're out there, but I've never met them. You don't need to lift weights 5 times a week, 6 times a week, 7 times a week. I have clients who do that because they just love the mental benefit. But if you want to change your body, you could get away with 2 times a week, 3 times a week if all other pieces are dialed in. So speaking of other pieces, let's talk about nutrition. The third M in the 3M system is your meals, your nutrition. You need to control the amount of food that goes in your mouth. Calories are king. Calories dictate what your weight does, how much fat you lose or how much fat you gain, or whether or not you maintain your weight. It's really just an energy balance equation. So you burn a certain amount of energy throughout the day. You eat a certain amount of energy through food. If you eat less than you burn, you'll lose fat. If you eat more than you burn, you'll gain fat. If you eat the same amount that you burn, you'll maintain your weight. It's really that simple. So what we got to do is we got to come up with a meal plan and strategy that allows you to eat the foods you love, where you need to eat, restaurants, at home, in the office, whatever, and total up all the calories so that the calorie intake is where it needs to be for you to lose fat. It's really simple stuff. Now, as we get deeper, we want to eat enough protein, number one, and then we can start to play around with carbs and fats depending on how carbs and fats make you feel. Some people like more carbs, less fat. Some people like more fat, less carbs. And there's a time and place for all of it. It really just depends on you as an individual. There's no right or wrong here. That's the good news. But it will require some experimentation. What we do to start, just to give you an idea inside of our coaching program, is first of all, we set up your calories. How many calories? Usually a range, right? If someone comes to me, and we'll use Jay Michael as an example, because we're literally giving away his plan right now. So Jay Michael needed to eat about 2,000 calories to lose fat on a consistent basis. He's 100 and I think he started at 175, 180 pounds, and we wanted to get down to like 165-ish, okay? Actually, he may have started closer to 190. Nonetheless, we need to lose about 20, 25 pounds. Anyway, so we started his calories around 2,000. Now, sometimes he was a little under that, maybe 1,800. Sometimes he was above that, 2,200. But we stayed in that range, and the average was around 2,000 to kick things off, okay? So the meals we set up added up. So he wanted to eat 3 times a day. Great. So we needed about 3 meals, all of which were around 700 calories to 600 calories, which added up to 2,000 calories a day. We made sure the meals had enough protein in them. So we focused on lean meat, steak, eggs, all the stuff that he likes to eat, along with being able to eat out at places like Chipotle or a restaurant, or be able to order food and say, all right, this is what I get sushi wise, right? Like I have my sushi order that gives me more protein, helps me hit my calories. This is all stuff we did with him to ensure that he enjoyed his nutrition plan while still losing fat. Now, as we got closer to a photo shoot that we did this past weekend, yeah, we got super strict for like the last 4 weeks. And that's just because that's an extreme goal. You know, he was already ripped. He already had, lean abs, but we wanted to really come in at like crazy low body fat. So we had to get super strict for the last month. But of course, when I asked him, dude, do you regret being super strict? The answer was no. Why? Because he achieved something that most people never do. So it took being a little bit of extreme for a short period of time to get down to crazy lean levels of body fat. But the good news is now we're moving back to a really enjoyable, sustainable way of living where he actually gets 3 meals a week to eat whatever he wants and he can stay lean. But he had to earn that by creating the systems, habits, and structure that got him lean in the first place. So he has that. And now we can move different pieces around and enjoy our plan even more than ever before. So that's the meal side. Now there's what I call the 5M super system. So we talked about consistency. We talked about discipline and desire. We talked about movement, muscle, and meals, but there's 2 other pieces that I want to just quickly touch on, and we'll cover more at a future episode. But these 2 pieces are your mindset and your meaning. So mindset is just how you think. What are my cues? What are my mental systems and structure? What do they look like? How do I view the world? How do I view challenges? How do I view and deal with problems? How do I deal with stress? This is all mindset stuff. We got to work on this diligently. We need to create a new identity as someone who crushes it, who's someone who shows up, who does what they say they're going to do, who honors their word, honors their commitment, not for anybody else, but for themselves. I see so many people come to me and say, I want to be a superhero for my kids. And I understand that vibe. Because listen, I'm a father of 2. Of course, I want my kids to be like, my dad's a superhero. But really, at the end of the day, I cannot control that. I can't control my kids. As terrible as this sounds, my kids might hate me. I hope not. I hope they love me. And I think they do love me, but I know they love me. But I'm saying there could be factors that happen in life that, are out of my control. I want to look at myself as a superhero. That's the mindset that I need. I don't want to rely on someone else's opinion of me, but I know chances are pretty damn high if I'm showing up, if I'm doing the work, and my kids see me do that every day, chances are pretty high that they are going to look at me as a superhero. But I want my own mind to go, I am a superhero, dude. You know why I know? Because I do the damn work. I show up. I say and do things, and I follow through. I honor my commitment. That is why I'm a superhero. Not because someone else says I am. I know I am. Now, the meaning part of it is, what do I want to create in my life? How do I want to impact other people? And I'll tell you right now, it's a beautiful thing when you help other people succeed. The best way to start doing that is by walking the walk, setting an example. But when I look around at, you might look around at your employees, your family, your community and say, I want to be a good example. That's meaningful to me. And this is where the kid stuff really does come in play as a father is like, I want to lay the groundwork so my kids have a playbook. At least I can sleep at night knowing I never held anything back. I told them my mistakes, my failures, where I'm good, where I'm bad, where I'm terrible, and how I fixed it. And I not only told them, but I led through my actions. That is meaningful. We talk about legacy and creating things and leaving your mark and leaving an impact. This is the meaning. This is what meaning is. So when you start to get in better shape and you're taking care of yourself, you're doing it for a bigger purpose. Yeah, you have your mindset dialed in. You got your movement, your meals, your muscle, all that's dialed in. But dude, you're doing it for bigger reasons. You want to leave your mark on the world, on your family. You want to help people. People who talk about you will say that person helped me in many, many ways. That's meaningful stuff. That's what life is all about, really. It's about making your mark, making the world a 10 times better place than you left it, than you entered it. And when you leave, people go, man, that person really made an impact on me. That's what meaning is. So my friends, this is how we're going to get ripped this summer. And we're also going to change the world in the process, whether you were ready for it or not. Starting with your own world, who you are inside of your own head, how you view yourself, the identity that you hold about yourself. That's where we're going to start. If you need a place to start, I have a lot of resources. As I mentioned, you can go to the show notes of today's podcast and you can check those out. Be sure to check out ButcherBox, an incredible sponsor, incredible partner in this whole fitness game. Add them to your toolbox of resources because they're a tremendous resource for nutrition. Go to butcherbox.com/true. If you need a place to start with us, go to 3mactionplan.com. That's the number 3, M as in Mary, actionplan.com. And if you have any trouble with these links, just go to the description of this podcast. You can check them out there. I'll put them all in the description so it's easy to find. As I always say, life moves fast. Make it count. I'll talk to you on the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you then. Have a great one. Peace.